All right, y'all. If you didn't know, Andy Reid had a press conference yesterday with the media. It was about 21 minutes in length. So, what I did is I listened through the entire thing and I'm going to summarize it for you in hopefully about 5 to 7 minutes. I take the time to save y'all time. But first, how about those? All right. He started out by saying, I appreciate our fans sticking with us. There were some tough times earlier in the season, and I appreciate that you all stuck with us during that time. I wish the Bengals the best of luck. They were the better team yesterday as it worked out. Our second half was not good enough, obviously, and I take responsibility for that. It is my responsibility that we do better. We will spend the offseason getting things worked out from schemes to the roster, and we will hit that soon. I think the future here is still bright, and we look forward to moving on to the 2022 season. He then opened up for questions from the reporters. He was asked, do you feel like there was anything missing from this year's team compared to years past? He basically said, not really. They feel like they had a chance this year to win it all, and he takes responsibility for falling short. He then said this.
Yeah, there's there's no time like now that you question every call and every play. So, and if you're not hard on yourself about it, then you're not going to get better. And that's as a player and a coach.
A reporter then asked, can you remember a time this many quarterbacks, especially so young, have been this good in the AFC? Reid agreed with the reporter. He said it creates good competition, but he thinks the Chiefs are sitting in a pretty good spot with Mahomes as their QB here in KC and in the AFC. He was then asked about the changes coming in the offseason and the exit interviews. Reid basically said that no team ever stays the same.
Talking to him today, they know. I mean, they've heard this. It might be the last time you walk out the door. Maybe you're coming back. That's part of this business, but wherever you are, we support you. And if you're here, we support you. And if you're going somewhere else, we'll support you.
He was asked about turnover from his current coaching staff to other teams, if he knew anything or what his thoughts were. And he didn't really give any clarity and just said, we will see where it all goes from here over the next few days. There are still some head coaching positions open. A reporter then asked him about the team's fatal flaws, like if he felt like they had any that he could pinpoint. And he replied, I couldn't tell you there's one thing in particular. Then he said,
we ended up not doing as well as we wanted to that second half of that game. First half, it was pretty good football. And second half, offensively, we didn't score any points. And defensively, we allowed them to score some points. So, that's not a good combination.
One reporter mentioned this being Mahomes' championship window and Reid's thoughts on taking advantage of this time, especially during the AFC championship game. Reid did acknowledge that to a degree. I mean, I think he knows that. And then he mentioned taking the appropriate steps to win it all going forward in the future. Reid was happy about Mahomes' progress this year. He learned to be patient in the pocket, take what the defense is giving him. And then he said, we're lucky to have Patrick, and hinted at being blessed, especially because Mahomes is still young. Reid watched the tape against the Bengals yesterday morning before this interview. He said the Bengals didn't change too terribly much up in the second half. It just came down to a handful of plays, and they needed to execute better. He was then asked, was there a moment in the second half where you felt like Pat was getting out of rhythm? And if so, what do you do about that? Reid responded and just said Mahomes is someone who's going to keep firing no matter what. Mahomes did some nice things down the stretch near the end of the game. We just didn't take advantage of the coin flip and make it all happen. He was asked if he planned on returning next year to coach the Chiefs. He said, yeah, that is the plan. He then talked about yesterday's game. He doesn't pin the loss on one person. He said there were multiple factors they did not capitalize on to really help win them this game. Reid then comments again on Mahomes. He almost made it to his third Super Bowl in a row, and we are very fortunate to have him. There's nobody here looking over cross-eyed at Mahomes, and I doubt any fans are either. Reid mentioned taking some time off to decompress, then come back with a fresh set of eyes.
What we'll do as a staff, and then we'll get back into it. Brett Veach, he's got everything lined up for us. as far as the combine goes and the draft and again free agency. So we'll jump right into it when we get back here.
He was asked about Orlando Brown and Tyrann Mathieu and how important it is to him that they are still around next year. And he said, we love those guys. We just got to step back and look at the big picture. We are fresh out of this season. I haven't even sat down with Brett Veach yet to go over everything. So basically, he didn't say one way or another. It was a very safe answer. They're about to start meeting with all players individually and all coaches to go over everything. Reid was asked if there's anything he wants to address in the offseason here. And he said this: time can help clear things up for you as you come out of the season. We're going to look at everything here. He was asked if he was going to go to the Super Bowl. I guess Reid is from LA or grew up in LA. He laughed a little and then said this:
I probably won't be at the game, that's for sure. But I know it's great for the city of Los Angeles, and they'll do a great job with it. And I'm hoping you have a great Super Bowl party.
He kind of closed the interview commenting on how close the playoff games were this year. Both top seeds were knocked out. Many games ended in a one-score game. He said it was a pretty crazy year. Hey, that was it for this presser. If you like content like this, make sure to like and subscribe for more. I am doing daily news, quick articles, updates, etc. on the Kansas City Chiefs. So hey, until next time, let's go. How about those